I've been in radio since '91, and I've never had a chance to interview one of my favorite bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I'm not sure if this is a tradition or not, but I thought that I would give you a little something from Canada here that relates. Because maybe, I don't know if this is a tradition to bring a Red Hot Chili Pepper a chili pepper, but go on in there. I don't know if this is something you might like.
I might never know.
Some,
Thank you
So
very much.
I don't know if that's a tradition to bring a pepper, but if not, I'm going to start something.
I think you should start one.
Hashtag bring a pepper.
And there's the napkins.
Are we good with
the
that?
Canadian napkins to go with it. That's very kind.
Right
Thank
on.
you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
You know what? I want to start off the interview obviously positive, but today I kind of think about something, and that would be Chris Cornell. And maybe you're thinking that too, because I think back, we had Blood Sugar Sex Magic, we had Super Unknown, Pearl Jam. It really was that year where it kind of broke out and almost changed music. And it's sad when we start to see something like Chris. How does that affect you in the industry in that time? How do you guys feel right now?
Well, it's obviously very sad, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, Chris is an incredible artist and musician, and he was a friend of ours, all those guys. But we toured with them in Lollapalooza in '92.
Right.
The band you mentioned, Pearl Jam, and Lollapalooza was a great, fun tour. It felt like, as you alluded to, things were changing, music was changing. Obviously, Soundgarden being a big part of the whole scene up there in Seattle, and they were great, and we've been, friends ever since. And I didn't know him that well, but it was shocking.
Just the talent, though. You knew he was
He's
talented.
an incredibly talented, of course. Yeah, he's one of the greatest singers of our
and to lose
our
that
generation.
because it was kind of like a soundtrack for me. Chili Peppers, Soundgarden.
Of course. Yeah, it's just it's really sad when somebody goes too young, and especially in that way seems so crazy to me and unfathomable. And I know today was his memorial down in Hollywood. Yeah, some friends of mine were down there. I'm very close with the Pearl Jam guys, and of course they're very close to him. And everyone was just shocked and stunned and didn't see it coming. And mental illness and depression is a rough disease, man. And you just never know how it's going to manifest itself. And
maybe in this business too.
Sure,
can make you a little crazy.
Yeah. I mean, fame and all that stuff that goes with it, and then you're alone with your thoughts. And it's just it makes me especially sad being a dad and having young children, and he does too. That's. You can't.
That's how I feel. The family part of it all.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Music aside and the talent, it's the family. Right?
Yeah, he's just a guy, trying to navigate his.
Like you, family dad. You
got,
a lot of kids.
I got like 12.
I thought it was 24 actually.
I got a whole basketball team.
You do. How do you manage that? Because are you still the cool dad? I mean, you're a Red Hot Chili Pepper. Do they think you're cool, or are you kind of like?
The last thing that they thought I was cool, I played on the Batman Lego movie soundtrack.
That's what it was.
So I was cool for about 10 seconds.
And then it went back to you're uncool.
Yeah, whatever, Dad.
Dad plays the drums in some band. I don't know.
I mean, they know it's like my job, and they know what it is. And my oldest son is 12.
What does he listen to? Does he listen to you, or what does he listen to?
No.
Not at all, eh?
He was really into the Hamilton soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, loved the Hamilton thing. He's kind of a musical theater kind of guy.
Stuff
No, he plays the trombone.
Okay, all right.
Not well. Not well. I think he thinks it's like funny, the slide, and I'll play that. But they love music, and we have instruments in the house and stuff. But I don't want to push them to do. I want them to do whatever they want to do.
Right.
But they know this is my job, and I impress upon them. It's like I'm lucky to have a job I love to do. It takes me away a lot of times from home life, and sort of my youngest one doesn't really get it. Why do you have to go? Why do you have to leave? And he gets really bummed sometimes. I go, it breaks my heart. Yeah. But that's the hardest part about traveling and stuff.
Sure.
But as far as a job goes, pretty great job.
Yeah, a guy from St. Paul, 6'3", becomes one of the best drummers in the world. How does that happen?
I have no idea.
Did you practice a lot?
Yeah, a lot of hard work. I loved it. But you know,
'Cause
when
it's
you do
kinda
something that you
changed.
love, you're gonna want to do it.
Right.
So and
But I mean, music now, as far as kids getting into music, it's like, hey, let's put a YouTube video together, and maybe back in the day you were grinding it out, you know?
yeah, I still think you need to play and grind it out.
Yeah.
And you know, our culture is so I want it right now, and
Totally.
um, you know, I think there's no shortcuts in you know, there's luck and opportunity and hard work that happens, and I think if you love what you're doing and you keep plugging away, that good things will happen. But you know, unfortunately, it's not really how it is these days. They want, and there's so many other distractions and so many video games and all kinds of things. They have a attention span of like 5 minutes.
Which makes me think social media, which has really changed in music, because you guys have always been creative. That's what I love about the Chili's, man. I mean, from videos to the music, it's always really been creative. But now with social media, and you've got the trolls, and they're able to put their 2 cents in, does that quench your creativity in a sense, like, well, you kind of think twice about it?
No.
No?
Can't pay attention to the trolls.
There you go.
Everybody's a critic behind their computer or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't read too many of the comments about stuff, but you know, we're fortunate when we came up all those years ago, and it wasn't about, you know, American Idol.
Getting your likes and getting
oh
your,
yeah, and how
all
many
that stuff.
how many
Get one viral.
how many eyes you can get on your thing, you know. No, you just got to play from your heart and do what you love, and that's what we've always been honest about our band, and as musicians and as a band and everything. We just trying to get better and write better songs and be
And
better.
I think people feel that from you guys, because
Well, I
I'll
hope
tell you
so.
what, there hasn't been this kind of excitement in the city for a concert in a hell of a long time.
When were you
There is,
at?
I think it's been about 3 years,
Okay,
maybe.
so you came on the last tour.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
the last tour.
Right.
But I mean,
Well, the Canadians have always been very supportive of
yeah,
us.
sold out through pretty much all your dates and
It's
everything.
all good.
So
Yeah,
it's crazy.
we're happy.
So, you know, I got to ask you, you know, you and your band, right?
Yeah.
When you guys write music, 'cause this makes me laugh, because there's the show called Empire. I don't know if you've ever seen that, right? Where
like
they,
a hip-hop show.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and you know, they come up with songs like this, and like, hey, Dad, look at this, which we know is not true. How do you guys write? Like, how do you guys?
We all get in a room like not much bigger than this one, and we just kind of improvise and jam, kind of like jazz musicians a little bit. And somebody have an idea from home, whether it's a guitar part or a keyboard part or a bass part or a drum beat, and we just kind of improvise, and then ideas go through the air, and somebody, oh, I like that, that's cool, and I mean, we've been doing it a long time,
I
so
know.
we kind of have this telepathy thing that's really great. But and then also somebody might have an idea from home, and like, oh, I got this bass line, or I've got this idea, and never a full fleshed out song. Like, everyone is encouraged, and I think it's a big part of why we sound so maybe more unique, or sound like we do, is that everyone's creative input is encouraged. You know, oh, I think, what about that, and why don't you try
It's
that?
true.
And
You know what
so
Chili
we just
Peppers
do
song.
that,
I
you know,
love that.
and so.
And maybe that's why
yeah.
you guys have stayed together so long, in a sense, because everybody kind of gets their own creative juice out, you know?
You know, I don't know about other bands, but yeah, for us, it works for us, and we don't have one guy or two guys that like write the songs, you know,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, maybe, you know, and we split everything equally as far as like money and everything, all that stuff goes, and that's a big part too.
Sure it is,
Sometimes
yeah.
like the guys that write the songs,
Oh, yeah.
and if you sell lots of records, those guys get a big slice.
Exactly.
Word, man,
What
I'm
the
slogging
hell?
it out here too, you know. And you got a big old house,
the
and
hell?
I got my little crappy part. No, I don't, you know. But we've just always been like that, and
That's cool.
and
I like that.
yeah,
That's great.
it works for us.
Getaway new album. I gotta ask, because Rick Rubin, what the hell? Where'd he go?
Oh, Rick's still around. He's in our neighborhood. I see him all the time.
You're just trying something different with Danger Mouse and
Yeah.
Nigel and that?
Yep.
Yeah?
We've made lots of records with
Rubin, for
Rubes
sure.
and
Yeah.
Blood Sugar, and,
Yeah.
and he's a great producer and a great friend of ours, and we love him. But we just felt it was time to try something different. You know, we've been a band for quite a long time,
Yeah.
made lots of records, and it was time for a change.
Right.
And we like Brian, we've known him, and
Did he
it
bring
was great.
something new that you didn't have
Oh,
before,
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's a different guy, obviously. And,
Yeah, right. Different
doesn't
ear, different.
shorter beard,
Doesn't get in the way.
a little younger. No, he's just a total musician and
Gets it.
and is immersed in the studio. The thing that was really different for us this time around, other than we wrote our songs how we normally do, I just told you about, and then he was like, "That's great. I can help you make your songs better and arrangements and stuff and all that. But if you really want to, use my talent or forte of what I do, let's go in my studio and we'll start from scratch and just come up with a drum beat." And we'd listen to some music and kind of get inspired, and I'd play the drums by myself, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. But, we're an experiment. We were
Right,
going for it.
yeah.
And then Flea would come in and play
So, like,
bass
rebuilding.
line. Yeah, just put it, and it's sort of, that comes from like his hip hop background, I think. It's kind of how people do it, get
Okay.
a drum beat and blah, blah, blah.
Remember?
So we did a bunch of stuff like that, and it worked out great. And so I'd say half the songs on the record started, that's the way we wrote those.
Okay,
And it
cool.
challenged us and made us come up with different ways
Nice.
to do it. Yeah.
Well, I'm digging
So
it.
he was great.
I'm
Thank
digging
you.
it. I love the new album. And you
Thank
know
you.
what I like? Sick Love.
We'll
'Cause
play
I'm-
it tonight for you.
Nice. Will you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd love that. But you know what? Elton John, Bernie Taupin. What's the connection with the Kool-Aid
Oh, it
there?
was just Elton came in. The song "Sick Love," the verse melody we thought was a little Benny and the Jets,
Okay. Okay.
right?
All right.
And Anthony's like, I don't hear. I don't know. It's like it's the same chords, same key, and so we met him before, and he's a very nice man. And so we said, let's just reach out to Ellen and say, look, we got this song. We'd love you to come down and, sing, play, whatever you want. Just kind of give us a blessing and that sort of
Nice.
thing. And he said, great. And he was in town to do last year I think he does a big benefit during the Academy Awards.
Right. It's the AIDS benefit, probably.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like March. So we were in the studio. So he came down. It was really cute. He was like, we'd met him before,
Yeah.
but he came in and he had some of his friends that stayed out, and then came in the studio. And he seemed almost nervous. He was kind of sitting around. We're sitting around like this, and oh, what's going on, guys? And we're like, oh, what's going on? How's it going?
Right.
Nice day out,
Yeah.
And so he and once he's like, well, okay, like the small talk, and then he was like, well, let me hear the song, and so he goes over to the piano. And we're playing the track, got the headphones on. I think we gave him the music to it. He's kind of looking, and as soon as he plunked his little chunky Elton John fingers down on the piano, it sounded exactly like Elton's. It didn't matter.
No kidding.
It's so amazing when a human being, musician, has that, it's in them. It's not
Yes.
their tool.
Yeah.
It's
Them.
It was so cool, and he's doing a kind of honky-tonk thing. We're like, it's cool, but... I don't know if it works for this. And then we kind of actually had Brian. I'm like, I'm not telling him what to play. We pushed it off, and Brian was very diplomatic. He said, maybe a little less and just some chords. And so he played maybe 2-3 times, played the track, and then he was very relaxed. Then
Right.
we sat in the control room, and he
I love it.
shot the shit and talked about, art and music and politics and
Oh man.
everything.
Love that.
Yeah, it was
well, he's
really
made
fun.
photography. I know that for
He
sure.
has
Huge
one of
collection.
the biggest
It's huge.
collections.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff. See, he was very nice. We're very honored to have him on it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, we were gonna wrap it up with the Chad in 5.
Okay.
Chad
cool.
in 5.
Okay.
Coolest drum jam you've ever had, or that you would dream of having.
Well, those are two different questions.
Okay.
I had a cool drum jam with Ginger Baker once.
Really?
Yeah, the
Okay.
great drummer from Cream,
Cream.
in England, and we did this drum show, and there was other drummers. Bernard Purdy, who was a great session musician, David Garbaldi, another great drummer in Tower of Power, myself, and Ginger. And at the end, there was a big jam. And the best part of it to me was before he walked out with 2 Bacardis and Cokes and spilled them all over his drum set. Before he played a note, it was great. I was like, oh my God, it's a freaking car crash. But at the end, he's like, oh, the great Bernard Purdy, let's hear, the great David Garibaldi, And that guy. Yeah, can you remember my name? It was so great, and it was very ginger,
I love it.
and that was really funny because he's a hero of mine. But I would love to jam with, John Bonham and Keith Moon. Maybe
Man.
party with Moon and jam with Bonham.
Have you ever done Neil Peart? Have you and Neil Peart
Yeah,
ever come together?
I haven't. He's
Okay.
in Canada. Of course.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say, man. I gotta get the
One
Neil
of the
Peart.
greatest. Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Neil Peart fan. Peart.
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 Yes, let's get it right.
Get it right there, up in there in Toronto. When I played some Buddy Rich memorial show, and
Okay.
he was on it, and we got to play together and separately, and I had to actually rehearse, and he was like watching me.
Wow.
I'm like, fuck.
I love it.
Yeah, so he's cool.
Okay, gotta ask you just because. Favorite TV show or movie recently? See if you watch the same shows I do. I'm curious.
No,
watch TV?
Do you have small children?
No.
Okay, so we're not watching the same show. We're not watching Ninjago.
No Deadliest Catch or
we're
anything?
Not
Okay.
watching Ninjago, Star Wars Ninjago.
You got me there. You got me
But
there.
when you're on the road, it's a different thing.
There you go.
There's this thing called Netflix.
Yeah.
And I've been watching Fargo.
Love Fargo.
Fargo's good with the new guy that plays two people. or
Yeah,
not new guy.
I know what you're talking
McGregor.
about. You watch Fargo.
good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
I love
he's
that.
cool, so
Okay.
I kinda
Yeah,
like
you're okay. You're right with me. All right. Celebrity right now who could use a good slap?
Scott Baio.
Scott Baio. Good point. But that whole
I think my wife did that already.
Oh, did she? Good. I love
She
her
went at
already.
it.
Love her already.
She went at it.
Now, if you weren't a drummer, what do you think you'd be doing?
If I wasn't drummer, I'd be. I got the hat. I got the toque. Can't see. I would be a bank robber.
Bank robber. Would you be successful?
That's where the money is. Oh no. I would.
Okay. Now you'd be in jail then. All right.
Yeah, I'd be a bank robber and/or in jail. So,
Okay. How about this? Have you ever got an unusual or an awesome gift from a celebrity? Something maybe we didn't know about.
I don't hang out with like celebrity people.
No,
very
you
much.
don't. You're off the grid that
I'm
way.
a drummer.
Yeah,
I
they'll
lay,
give
I
you-
lay low. I don't know.
Don't give you a skull head or a dinosaur skull. Anybody?
There's an artist. His name is Damien Hirst.
Okay.
Who did our "I'm With You" record cover.
Okay.
Very famous modern
Yeah.
English guy.
Yeah.
And we recently played his new art opening in Venice last
Nice.
month in Italy, and he gave us all really nice sculptures.
See, there's perks in this job.
That was a good one.
That's a good perk. Right
And he's a very generous, awesome, creative man. So yeah, that was the last cool.
And I
thing that I-
understand, to end it, the getaway, you're the bear on the album cover, I understand.
Yeah, because according, I don't know who said that. Somehow I'm the best.
Anthony!
Oh, Anthony. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you did.
I'm the big.
Apparently he's the crow,
Well, they're little guys.
and the raccoons
I'm bigger
flee,
than,
and
I don't know.
Josh
The girl
is
is
the
probably
girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
This has been unbelievable, Will. Thank you.
Nice
I
to
had to
meet you.
get you with the
Nice to
Will.
meet you. Very
Just
original.
once.
No one's
No one's ever done that.
Yeah.